Coffee is one of the most influential beverages in human history, yet its story begins in the highlands of Ethiopia, thousands of years ago. Today, coffee fuels global economies, daily routines, and social culture, but its origins are deeply rooted in nature, trade, religion, and human curiosity. The journey of coffee from a wild plant to a global cultural symbol is one of the most remarkable transformations in beverage history. According to historical tradition, coffee was first discovered in Ethiopia. One of the most famous legends tells the story of Kaldi, a goat herder who noticed his goats becoming unusually energetic after eating bright red berries from a wild shrub. Curious about this effect, Kaldi reportedly tried the berries himself and experienced a similar burst of energy. While historians believe this story is more symbolic than factual, it reflects an important truth. Early humans discovered the stimulating effects of coffee through careful observation of nature. In early Ethiopian communities, coffee was not initially consumed as a drink. Instead, coffee cherries were sometimes crushed and mixed with animal fat to create dense, energy-rich food used during long journeys. Over time, people began experimenting with roasting and boiling coffee beans, slowly transforming coffee into a drinkable beverage. These early experiments marked the beginning of coffee as a prepared drink rather than simply a wild plant resource. By the 15th century, coffee had crossed the Red Sea and reached Yemen. This marked a major turning point in coffee history. In Yemen, coffee cultivation became intentional rather than dependent on wild plants. Farmers began growing coffee systematically in mountainous regions. The port city of Mocha became one of the first major international coffee trade centers. Coffee from this region became so famous that the word mocha is still associated with coffee culture today. Coffee also developed strong religious connections during this period. Sufi monks in Yemen used coffee to stay awake during long nighttime prayers and meditation sessions. Because of this, coffee was sometimes viewed as a spiritual aid that helped improve concentration and devotion. From Yemen, coffee spread across the Islamic world, reaching major cultural centers such as Mecca, Cairo, Damascus, and Istanbul. The Ottoman Empire played a crucial role in spreading coffee culture globally. By the 16th century, coffee houses had become important social institutions in Ottoman cities. These coffee houses were far more than places to drink coffee. They were centers of discussion, politics, art, literature, and social interaction. People gathered to share news, debate ideas, and build community networks. Coffee quickly became an essential part of urban daily life and social identity. Through trade and diplomacy, coffee eventually reached Europe. At first, coffee was met with suspicion in some European regions. Some religious groups even debated whether coffee should be banned. However, coffee's popularity grew rapidly. By the 17th and 18th centuries, coffee houses spread across major European cities such as London, Paris, and Vienna. In England, coffee houses became known as penny universities because for the price of a cup of coffee, people could access news, debate ideas, and participate in intellectual discussions. As European colonial expansion accelerated, coffee cultivation spread to new parts of the world. Coffee plants were transported to South America, Southeast Asia, and the Caribbean. Brazil eventually became the largest coffee producer in the world, a position it continues to hold today. Coffee farming reshaped regional economies and helped build global trade networks. During the Industrial Revolution, coffee became closely associated with productivity and modern work culture. As factory labor increased and working hours extended, coffee became a tool for maintaining alertness and energy. Advances in roasting technology, packaging methods, and later instant coffee production made coffee more accessible to wider populations. In the modern era, coffee culture continues to evolve. Specialty coffee movements, often called third-wave coffee, focus on bean origin, agricultural methods, roasting precision, and advanced brewing techniques. Coffee is now both a scientific product and a cultural experience. Modern coffee shops serve as social hubs, similar to historical coffee houses centuries ago. Perhaps the most fascinating aspect of coffee's story is how a simple plant, discovered in Ethiopian forests, transformed into a global cultural force. Coffee influenced trade routes, shaped social life, supported religious practices, and helped build modern economic systems and work habits. Every cup of coffee today represents a journey across continents, centuries, and civilizations. Coffee is not just a beverage. It is a story of discovery, adaptation, trade, culture, and human connection that continues to evolve even today.